Hello everyone, my name is Brother and I'll be demonstrating the game demo for Pick and Pop. So first we have the settings, then we have the master volume which controls all volume, the music volume which just controls the BGM, then the sound effects volume which controls the sound effects. For the controls, there will be movement and shooting controls will be displayed. So the movement will use WASD and an the E key to make the attack. While shooting, the players will have to use the left click to shoot, and from 1 to 6, the number keys, there will be bullets that the player can select. Different levels will have different bullets for the player to select. On the bottom, you can see the player lives, the current bullet, the health and weapon bars, and then the selectable bullets shown with the number keys on the bottom left. Proceeding to level 1. This is a game scene. The player moves around and jumps. Then the mouse controls the cursor and can shoot. So there are 3 different bullets that the player can use, which are the normal bullet, the explosion bullet, and a healing bullet. So each bullet cooldown is separate from each other. Here is our first enemy, which chases the player. The second enemy is a flying enemy. So either the player can use shooting or the melee attack to damage the player, damage the enemies. So here is an enemy with a turret gun that can shoot at the player. And here is a whole lava section where if they take damage, when they drop inside the lava section, they'll slowly reduce damage. Here is a platforming section where players can either move up, move to the right, or drop down. If you move up, there will be a turret enemy that once the player goes near, it will shoot at the player. If the player jumps to the right, then you enter through here, or if they drop down, they'll have to climb up the ladder here. Proceeding to the first section, or puzzle section, then you have to shoot the buttons to open the doors. If the door closes on the player will instantly die. When the player dies, they will be revived if they have lives, so as reflected, and then if they pass the checkpoint, they respawn at the checkpoint, but if not, then they will restart at the start of the level. Moving on, here is another platforming section. So the turret enemies can have different bullets that they can shoot. Here is an enemy with a shield effect, which is the blue circle around it. The shield will absorb damage taken from the enemy. So you can either damage it until the shield is gone, or use an explosion bullet to instantly destroy the shield. Continuing here, players can either drop down or shoot the explosive barrel to destroy the wall. If the players drop down, they can climb back up through this ladder here. Next is the helper section, where by shooting the button, the player will spawn a helper. The player will have to protect the helper in order to let them open the door. If not, then the player cannot proceed. At the boss fight, here is the first level, boss. Compared to the other enemies, this boss can shoot different bullet types at random. So once the player kills, the player will win and can proceed to the next level. Proceeding to level 2, there are two new bullets that the players can use. One is a poison bullet, while the other is a paralyzed bullet. The paralyzed bullet can slowly reduce the player's speed and also stop some other enemies, while the poison bullet will just slowly reduce health. The first section is a low gravity section, where the player, as long as they are inside this area, they can jump constantly. And if they fall down, they will die instantly as well. For a paralyzed bullet, to showcase that you can disable some enemies, this turret currently shoots at the player, but if I were to use the paralyzed bullet, it will be able to disable. Here is a pushback platform, where if the players are standing on it, they will constantly be pushed back, and the direction is shown on the arrows. The paralyzed bullet can also disable the effects of these pushback platforms. Here is a platforming section where players can either move up or down. So by using the paralyzed bullet on the turret enemy, they will be disabled. Next, you will find this section where the jump is too high for the player to reach, so the player will have to destroy this object in order to drop the metal box for them to jump up top. This is our first new enemy for level 2, which is whenever the enemy dies, there will spawn 3 smaller enemies that chase the player. For second enemy, this is a humanoid animal which has a melee attack. Here is another helper section where we have to guide the helper. Players can heal the helper using the healing bullet. Again, once you reach, then the door will open. For this section, this pushback platform is a lot stronger than the back platform, so it's advised for the players to jump instead of run. Here, there is a electric effect that will shock the player and deal a lot of damage very quickly compared to poison or the lava. Now, passing here is the puzzle section for level 2, where players will have to shoot the buttons to open the walls. So if the player ever gets stuck, they'll be able to reset the count to 0 manually and then try again. So there are multiple ways that the player can cross this section. For the second boss level, the differences of this boss compared to a normal enemy is that they can regenerate their health. Now, once the boss drops past a certain amount of health, they will start charging and they will deal big damage to the player. Once the player defeats the boss, then they can proceed to the next level. For the third level, there is a new bullet type, which is the charge shot. The players must hold down the left click to charge the bullet first, and then release it to shoot. Here is our first new enemy of this level, which is a self-exploding enemy. Once they move towards the enemy near enough, and they will self-explode. Here is a platforming section where the bottom will have a strong wind effect, and if the player were to drop down and just run, it will take a long time. So it's advised for the player to jump across the top platforms. Once they pass this section, you'll be able to proceed to the puzzle, which is just to move the orange box into the green area. By shooting the button, you will change the direction of the platform that pushes the box. On the second section, the same puzzle is here but with a few twists, where if there is a red wall, or if the orange box collides with a red wall, it will be destroyed instantly and respawn. And this second button will toggle the yellow platforms on and off. So again, the player has to move from orange box into the green area. For a new enemy in level 3, these are self-exploding flying enemies as well. So once they move near enough, they will also self-destruct and cause an explosion. So for the final platforming section, players either have to move using the ladders to cross through the right, or climb up and pass through these platforms on the top. The players cannot move through the bottom side because the bottom side does not have a way for the players to climb up. If the players drop down at any time while they are platforming here, they will have to restart by walking all the way back to the start at the bottom and then climb. Now for the final level, final boss fight, we will have the two bosses fighting together as well. To showcase that this boss will be able to, you can cancel the boss attack, charging attack. So once it's charging, you can use the paralyzed move to instantly stop them from charging this attack. Once both enemies are dead, you'll be able to win the game. And that is our presentation for game demo.